Hi everybody, I'm Ewan. Hope you're all feeling good today. On this video, I'm going to talk about the coaching tool known as the Wheel of Life. Now, this is something that I use with just about all my coaching clients. And what I use it for is to get a sense of how balanced is their life in the now, right now. It's a sort of tool that you can also use for yourself for the same purpose. You can have a look at how balanced does your life seem to be, and this can then help guide you to set some goals or to help rebalance your life. It's that sort of thing. It was originally created by a chap called Paul J. Meyer in the 1960s. He founded the Success and Motivation Institute in the 1960s, and he was the first person to use it. What it is really is just a simple way to break down your life into different categories. So the categories that are generally used. Now, you can change these categories. I think when Meyer came up with this originally, he used slightly different categories than I use today. So you've got some flexibility about how you do this yourself, but I'll tell you the categories that I use. So it's a way of subdividing your life into six categories. So I'll go through what they are. So the first one is work. Now you could call it work, career, job, whatever it happens to be for you. And it's really getting that sense of the area of your life where you sort of bring income in. So whatever that may be. So that's the first category. The next category is family. Now, family, like all of these labels, it means to you what it means to you at the end of the day. Family is really, generally speaking, it's your growing up family. So it's the people who are your caregivers, maybe your parents or equivalent when you were growing up. If you've got any siblings, it would kind of include those as well. Now, for some people, they put their partner into family as well, and their own children and that sort of thing. But for some people, partner is in the next category. So the next category is then relationships. So as I said, this could be your significant other, if you have a significant other. It could also include friends as well. So what are your relationships with other people like? You know, do they need some work right now or not? The next category along from that is personal growth and development. So personal growth and development is about how do you feel that you're developing as an individual, about your understanding of yourself or your understanding of the world. You know, how are you getting on understanding that? The next category is health and fitness. Now, health and fitness kind of speaks for itself, but basically, how do you feel in your physical body? Are you feeling that you are healthy at the minute? Are you facing a health challenge maybe or not? Do you do any exercise? You know, exercise which is, you know, good for you to do. Are you doing any or are you not doing any? Sometimes health and fitness can include your mental well-being as well, although sometimes people might call that personal growth and development. It doesn't matter where you put it as long as you're getting a sense of it. And the last category, I think this is 6 now, is spirituality. Now, spirituality is obviously you can understand that in a sort of a faith-based way. You know, there's several religions that many people follow, like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, that sort of thing. So it may be that you are somebody who adheres to a faith, or it may just be your sense of is there something bigger about life, your existence, other people's existence, the world, and that sort of thing? Is there something bigger going on? So it's really just your sense of that. Now, a lot of people don't give this area of their life much thought, really. So sometimes people rate it quite low just because of that. But it's really up to you what you do and how you define it and that sort of thing. So those are the categories. Now, what I do with this is early on with a client, I'll give them a handout which has got all the categories on it. And what I ask them to do, I ask them to rate each area of their life out of 10, where 10, that segment of their life, that area of their life, could not be any better, and 0, it just couldn't be any worse. Now, what this is giving me is a sense in a rounded way, breaking their life down about how they think their life is going right now, in the moment, through all these different categories. Now, often a client will come in with a problem in a particular area. They may come in because they're wanting to change their job, or because they're not earning enough money, or they want to work for themselves or something like that. Nevertheless, it's useful to get a rounded sense of the client through all these different categories, because maybe the reason that they're not developing in their career the way they want to is maybe because they have a health challenge, or because the relationship isn't quite the way they want it to be. So it's important for me as a coach working with other people to get a nice rounded sense about where somebody is in their life right now. The other related thing that I use this for is to look for pressures in life. Where are the pressures coming from in your life right now? Obviously, if you're not maybe working, doing the job you want to do, or you're not earning the sort of money that you want to, that may create a pressure for you. If you've got a health challenge, that may create a pressure too. It gives me a chance to understand more about somebody. This is I'll talk on another session about on another video, sorry, about running a session with people. One of the things that I like to do is I like to understand, how did you get to where you are today? So I often get people to write out their life history. The wheel of life then fits in for the now segment. So if their life history has told me this is how they got to where they are today, the wheel of life tells me how they're doing now. So I get that sort of that rounded sense. So again, going back to pressures in life. So if you've got young children, that those who've had young children will know that takes up quite a lot of time. So suddenly you've got that extra pressure. If you've got a health challenge, or if you are just changed jobs, or you're thinking about changing jobs, you've got elderly parents or something, all these things, I'm looking for where the pressure's in somebody's life so that I can put myself more easily into their shoes to understand what's going on with them. Now, one of the things I often do with, as I said, I get people to scale it on a, 0 to 10. Now, one of the things you can do with that is you can imagine if you had it as a circle, if 10 was the outside of the circle and 0 is like the middle bit of the circle, if you then drew that for all the different categories, so maybe your career's an 8, your family's a 7, maybe your relationships are 5, personal growth and development, maybe that's an 8, health and fitness, maybe that's a 3, spirituality, maybe that's an 8. If you drew that all the way around, then you can get a sense of, if you rolled it as a wheel, I don't do that obviously, but if you did roll it as a wheel, how bumpy would the ride be? This area is okay, but this area is not okay. So, you might have a bit of a bumpy ride. And I've had people say to me before, I've got perfectly smooth ride, Ewan. Everything's 2 all the way round. Now, one thing you may not know, or you may know, is mechanical advantage means that one turn on a big wheel takes you further than one turn on a small wheel. So again, it's just a metaphor, an analogy, but it's the idea of using that to get a sense of, how is your life? And then what you can do as a coach, you can understand where somebody is, so you can investigate some of that. If you use it as an individual, which you can do as well, you can then look at your life, break your life down, and you can think, where do I need to, spend a little bit of a time and attention? Maybe I need to think about what I want in this segment. If it's not where I want it to be, here's one of the things about this. If it's not where you want it to be, you've got a sense of where you'd like it to be. Because how do you know it's not where you want it to be unless you actually know where you'd like it to be? So it just gives you a sense of, maybe I should focus on that. And what are the things that I can do in my life now to help bring some of that balance back, to improve this particular area? And a good place to start is thinking about, what do you want? Bringing that into your awareness and that sort of thing. So that, in summary, briefly, is a sense of what the wheel of life is and how to use it. Thanks for watching.